Alright, listen up. Folks, this is Master Sergeant Bodley, Chief Investigator of the Online Special Investigation Group, stepping in to deliver a hard-hitting rant on the evidence we've uncovered against the YouTube channel at Making Kids Mad 1. This request came straight from @BrasilJamapping, and I'm here to break it down with the grit and determination you'd expect from someone who's spent years rooting out digital filth. Buckle up, because this is going to be a deep dive into a cesspool of reckless behavior, and I'm not pulling any punches. First off, let's set the stage. This channel, at Making Kids Mad 1, popped up on May 27, 2025. Barely a month old as of today, June 25, 2025, 11:34 a.m. PST, and already it's racked up 19,823 views. That's a red flag right there. A new account with that kind of traction in such a short time. Either it's gone viral for all the wrong reasons, or someone's gaming the system. And from what I've seen, it's the former. The channel's description alone screams trouble. It lists favorite people like Paley, Koidad, and Classic, while throwing shade at worse people like Rhodes and Traffic and Tricky. But it doesn't stop at petty name calling. This creator claims they're forcing people to hand over personal info addresses, emails, phone numbers, and limiting screen time to 2 hours a day. That's not just creepy, it's a blatant overreach into people's lives. And it's the kind of behavior that sets off alarm bells in any investigator's book. Now, let's get into the meat of this posts. I've sifted through the evidence, and it's a dumpster fire of provocation. This individual isn't just making kids mad. They're throwing out threats like confetti at a parade. We've got lines like, "I will break Rosie in half. I will kill Rosie, and anyone who calls me an L will get shot by my gun and die." That's not edgy humor, that's a direct threat. And it's the sort of thing that could land someone in cuffs if we can trace the IP. Then there's the violent rhetoric. "I'm going to bomb and kill kids in Palestine." Are you kidding me? This isn't just offensive, it's a potential incitement to violence. And any serious investigation would flag it for immediate review. The fact that they're posting this publicly on a platform like YouTube suggests either reckless abandon or a deliberate attempt to stir chaos, and neither bodes well. The channel's obsession with control is another layer of concern. They keep hammering on this 2-hour screen time limit, with posts like, "Screen time just for 2 hours and your 2-hour timer is over." It's almost like they're playing dictator in a digital sandbox, trying to enforce rules on strangers. And the personal data demands, "I still need your address," is straight-up harassment. This isn't a game. It's a breach of privacy that could expose vulnerable people to real-world harm. We've seen cases where online predators use similar tactics to groom targets. And I'm not ruling that out here until we dig deeper. Then there's the cultural and racial mess they're stirring. Posts like "Algerian is haram," "alcohol is halal," and "black people are better than white people" show a pattern of tossing out inflammatory statements, religious, racial, you name it. They're either cluelessly provocative or intentionally divisive, and both are dangerous in a space where kids could be watching. The mention of bombing Palestine and hating Israel adds a geopolitical angle that's way beyond the scope of a typical YouTube spat. This isn't just making kids mad. It's sowing discord on a scale that could attract the wrong kind of attention, both from law enforcement and from extremists who might latch onto the rhetoric. Let's talk engagement. The likes and comments are low, usually 0 to 5 likes, 0 to 21 comments, but that doesn't mean it's harmless. Low engagement can mean a small, dedicated audience that's either too shocked to respond or too complicit to call it out. One post even shows a stack of CDs tied to a threat to break at Rhodes and Traffic CDs. That's not just vandalism. It's a personal vendetta playing out online. And an happy birthday wishes and subscriber milestones like an happy birthday to @Rosalina and-Leonardo show a consistent intent to upset, which aligns with the channel's name but crosses into malicious territory. Now, I've been around the block with online investigations, and this smells like a troll account on steroids. The rapid view count, the targeted attacks on specific users like @Rhodes and Traffic and @Datrikip, the mix of violence and absurdity. It's a classic playbook for someone seeking notoriety. But here's where it gets dicey, the legal line. Threats of violence, requests for personal data, and hate speech aren't just against YouTube's community guidelines. They could violate laws depending on jurisdiction. I've seen cases where online rants like this have led to real-world consequences. Remember the YouTube shooter in 2018? Nassim Agdam's grievances escalated from online posts to a deadly attack. We can't ignore that precedent. The establishment might brush this off as just kids being kids or free speech, but I'm not buying it. Free speech doesn't cover threats or harassment, and the pattern here suggests intent to harm, not just annoy. The FBI and other agencies have ramped up efforts against online violence, especially when it involves kids. Look at the child pornography cases they've cracked, like that Massachusetts National Guardsman arrested last October. This channel's focus on making kids mad and its violent undertones put it in a gray area that demands scrutiny, and with no oversight for YouTube creators like this and like professional child performers, there's a gaping hole where protection should be. So, what's the next step? We need to trace the account, analyze IP logs, and cross-check with any reported incidents tied to these threats. @BrasilJamapping asked for this investigation, and I'm taking it seriously. This isn't just a rant, it's a call to action. YouTube needs to step up, and law enforcement needs to be on alert. If this escalates, we could be looking at a situation that goes beyond digital mischief. Stay vigilant, and if you've got more intel, bring it to the table. This investigation's just getting started, and I'm not letting making kids mad one slip through the cracks. Over and out.